Hey, how's it going, everyone? We're back with another episode of the DTB podcast. This is episode 3. Today, we got a special guest in the house. But before I introduce him, I'm going to pass it up to my co-host.
What's up, everybody? This is KO from Colores. How's it going? Today we got a very, very special guest, top dog in the barber battles. We got none other than 30-plus trophy award-winning barber here, straight out of Oxnard, raised in LA, Manny Bless Hands. Let's go.
What up? How y'all doing?
Nah,
I'm excited to be here, and I just want to have a dope conversation with everybody.
Let's go.
How was the drive, bro? I know you're about an hour and a half from us, down to Oxnard. I know that's a really nice drive with the view and stuff. How was it coming over here this morning, man?
Nah, it was a good drive. I woke up like at 6 in the morning. I had to take off right away, and I got here like at 9, so I came a little earlier. You know, I didn't want to get caught up with the traffic, but it's a good drive, dog. I had to pass through like Universal Studios and everything, so it catches up a little bit, you know, but I got here on time.
Well, I appreciate it, bro, though, taking your time to do a podcast. Sometimes, like, and like, I don't know, you had doubts, like, they're gonna have the setup, how's it gonna be like, you know, but is this your first podcast?
Yeah, it's my first podcast.
The first one. Damn, we're having it's the first time for a lot of people, huh?
Yeah, it is. It is the first time for a few people, man. Right off the top, bro, I just want to congratulate you. You know, 30-plus awards, man. That's really, really big, man. Stacking them up. Where do you store these things at, bro?
Thank you. Nah, I have some at the shop. I have some at the crib, you know. I try to store them, just leave them at the crib or at the shop, but it's hard, you know, keeping like track with all the competitions and stuff. Like, people think that like they see the number, but it's like way more than that, you know. It's like a lot of like stories, a lot of losses, a lot of like.
Before we get into the stories, what's the biggest trophy you got right now? Like the biggest?
I actually won it in San Diego like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah,
it's probably like 5 feet.
Oh
Probably
yeah,
like 5 feet. Yeah, it's pretty big.
What category was it?
It was a tag team. It was a first place tag team. Yeah.
Yeah, both got a big trophy.
Yeah,
That's
we
dope.
both got a big old trophy. It was from the California Beauty College in San Diego. The street bar battle.
Dope,
Yeah.
dope. Which is like the wackest trophy. You're like, damn, why do you even give me this one?
Nah, it was I don't consider another one whack, but my first trophy was a little small. But that's the one that
was first place?
It was third place. That's the one that I have the most love for, though. You know, it was my first trophy.
Crazy.
Yeah, the smallest one.
The smallest one.
Smallest one is
bro.
the one I have the most love for. Yeah.
That's the trophy that's the only one that gets clean. The other ones get collecting dust and shit.
Yeah.
That's the one in my room. That's the only one in my room. Yeah.
That's dope.
So you say you won the biggest one in San Diego. What? How was that? How was that battle?
That one was pretty big. It had, all the heavy hitters in San Diego. I feel like San Diego and LA is like, when it comes to California, is a pinnacle of barbering. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
It's like when it comes to competing and everything, I feel like it's LA and San Diego that like
From Cali.
that take over everything. You know, so getting a first place there was like very important for me. You know, especially because I judged my first event a month prior to that. I had an event coming up where I was judging too, so it kind of like it just solidified. You know that like if there was any doubts or anything, you know that I can do it. You know, I have a vision to do it. I can do it, and that first place was like. That's why it means a lot to me too, because every hitter that I know in California was there. You know, it was like a good battle.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what was it again.
It was a street bar battle. They had Sean Hair and then by Giancarlo.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Those are hitters.
Those are big guys.
Sean Hair. I just finished watching his podcast with Los Cut It.
Yeah, he's.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Nah, I haven't watched it yet.
I
I
just
have it
seen
queued up, though.
It's dope. That one's dope. Yeah, but by Giancarlo, he's really dope too, bro.
Yeah, there were two big. When I seen that they had two judges, I seen that. That's perfect. You know, there's not too much like.
Wait, so
going around.
they were the judges?
Yeah, just them two.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. It's I don't know if you heard of Yakuza. Yakuza
Yeah,
bar.
yeah, because
Yeah.
the bar with Wah.
Yeah, it's their. I think his parents are the ones that own the school. Yeah, so it's like the biggest school in San Diego. It's pretty big.
Oh, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. I didn't even know that, his parents were part of the industry or anything like
Yeah.
that. That's sick.
Yakuza?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they own the school right there. It's a pretty big school in San Diego. Yeah, it's I think it's been open for like a couple years now. Yeah.
Okay, dope.
Yeah, when I seen that event, I wanted to go last year. I missed it last year. I think Angel Marcano won last year.
Yeah.
I missed
Right.
it last year, and I had an opportunity to go this year. I took it. I went.
That's
A
dope.
little drive, but
Hella dope.
it's
So
worth it.
let's get straight to it though. How you know how you went from being a judge to then battling and then you win that battle, right? Do you ever get like critiqued a certain way by like barbers like or like that you might get like you got help or you got favoritism because you're already connected. Does that ever happen to you?
Thank God, no, because I like I haven't everywhere that I try to go compete, it's kind of like people that kind of don't know me, you know, people that are like I try to keep judges that like are like coming out of state or people that are like not even from here, because there is a lot of like favoritism when it comes to that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You can go up to places like in certain small barbershop battles or certain locations that can have people that like will like have favoritism, you know. That's why I feel like when they come out of state, when they're a little bigger barbers, it's perfect opportunity to go because nobody can say anything, you know. It's like there's no favoritism. There's no they don't know anybody, you know, most of the
Yeah.
time. So that's like the perfect time to go. So I feel like those events are always good because I feel like if I were to go to events where I know judges and I know this competitor, you know, and now they're judging, you know, and I know and I compete right there, you know, and I get first place, then it could look like something, you
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
But I've been trying to stay away from that and just going to big events. So
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to focus on this year is mostly judging and like going to big events only,
Mm.
just to solidify that.
Yeah, I call it barber politics. It's
Yeah.
like barber politics.
Yeah, there's a lot of that and it's
Yeah,
scary.
that's a
bro.
definitely a big topic in the barber politics that we can say, you know. But that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Those that barber battle that you went to, right? How long did it take for you to prep for it? How long do you normally prep for a barber battle once you kind of like buy the ticket to get into the competition?
Yeah, yeah. Walk us through your like thought process, like
It's hard, man. It's hard because you want to keep it original,
yeah.
but then again, you want to be effective, you know.
and then
So
you gotta
it's-
get like you gotta be influenced too.
Yeah.
So
You-
you
and there's a
might
lot of-
copy someone. or,
there's a lot of
like-
people that let that pride get in between them, and they're like, "Nah, I'm better than this. I'm not gonna copy this. I'm not gonna copy that. I'm not gonna do this." You know, and that pride will sometimes mess them over. You know, at the end, which I feel like sometimes you shouldn't have a pride. It's always good to look up to somebody, not straight out copy them, but you know, it's always good to take influence in the bigger people. They're doing it up for a reason, you know. So I always like, I go on Instagram. I try to find inspiration. I want to keep it original. I don't like going through the whole costume phase. You know, I like
Oh,
going through
okay.
like more like fitting them up, giving them more like a show look. You know, like I feel like when it comes to modeling, that's what I want to present now. So I don't want to give out a whole costume look no more. I want to give out like Poppy Blends, like Giancarlo. They do like
Oh, that's artistic.
yeah, they
That's
do like
artistic.
real like like if they're a model, you know, a runway model. That's what I want to go towards. I don't want to go towards costume and doing that in the middle of April. You know, I want to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
towards
yeah.
like a real show look, which I feel like if the industry goes that way with competing,
Uh-huh.
it'll be like a whole artistry. You know,
Yeah.
It's-
Have you maybe created a show like that already in your head or no? Because I have.
Yeah,
I have.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Like I've said it in the past. Like I look up to a lot of the Burt Mena shows,
Mhm,
and
the
you
Rise of
know,
Hair.
like the Rise of Hair is exactly kind of like the same thing that you're talking about.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like getting them to go that route. I feel like that's the future of it. You
Yeah.
know, like
I feel like if you love fashion, that's where you fashion and hair. Like you're so like you're passionate about fashion. You should be there, bro.
yeah, I feel like if you are passionate about cutting hair, I think fashion helps you out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it goes hand in hand. You know, especially if you do the proper haircut for this certain style of look for like a runway. For example, like you were part of the Colores Dia de los Muertos
Oh,
showcase,
yeah.
right? So that was my first show that I wanted to put together to actually have a runway, to actually give you guys enough time to work on your model, to fit the description. And I think, you know, everyone killed it that night. Like everyone had the right mindset to take out the vision that I wanted to get, especially like with the black lights and all that stuff. I think that was really dope how you guys all came together, and you know, we actually like we created this group chat where you were part of it, Manny, right? And then, you know, everybody was like, hey, you need a makeup artist. Let me see if my friend can do
Yeah.
it for you, or XYZ. You know, it was just really dope. And when we did that, that was just to give everyone a little bit of the taste of like, we're going to start doing more things like that where we include more fashion, more like runway style, more than just like a competitive battling type thing. But that was pretty cool,
That was
bro.
super. I think you put your model like a LED
Yeah, like a little vest.
Chaleco on.
Yeah,
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 that was sick.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope.
yeah. That was dope. Seeing the whole community come together and just like expressing opportunities, like, and then expressing what they have in mind with like not a control. You know, it wasn't like you have 45 minutes to do this and you got to do it like that. You know, we had time. We were calm. You know, it was effective. You know, I feel like that's how I like shows like that. You know, where you don't have to be stressed out. Like, oh, I gotta finish in 45 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna have time. You know, I feel like that's
Yeah.
perfect. And then seeing the whole runway show and everything was like that was dope. Seeing that
Yeah.
come together.
A full outcome, yeah.
Yeah.
So battling, you know, there's multiple categories, and you know you've won a lot of trophies. What is there a certain category that you kind of just shoot for after? You know, once you find out, because you know you said, let's. I like to see who's judging. I want to make sure that I'm not so close to the people that are judging this, so it doesn't look like there's any controversy at the end if I do win. So when you get into these battles, is it a certain category that you like to go after, or which is the category that you sign up for the most, and which one's the least that you're like, you know what, I that's not really like my style. I won't go through that.
Thank God I've done almost all of them. I got a trophy in almost all of them. I think the only one I haven't had the opportunity to do is like I haven't done a fade and beard. That's the only one I haven't.
Have you done
Okay.
fastest? Like the fastest?
I done fastest fade, student fastest
What,
fade
like
when I was
10
a student.
10 minutes? Or
It was, I
something?
think it was 15 minutes. The student fastest fade, yeah.
Okay.
So I've done that one, but mostly now that I went up to the pro categories, it's just freestyle and tag team. I feel like those are the main events. I like doing like
Yeah.
main events where like everybody like
Everybody's
yeah.
watching. That's
especially
good. That's smart.
especially everybody's there, so there's no like oh you dug this, you dug that. I try to go to like the main ones. Even if
Yeah.
you lose, I feel like there is no losses. It's all like you turn everything into like a lesson. I feel like I've learned more when I lose than when I win. When I win, I don't even think about
Yeah.
what I did wrong, you know? A lot of times you don't even think. When you lose, it's like you go through everything, you come back stronger. So sometimes it's even better to lose.
Yeah, there's this saying, bro. There's this saying that, oh my God, it captivated me, bro. It said, when you succeed, you party. But when you lose, you ponder.
Yeah.
And great things come from pondering. Like once you lose, bro, you're just like, you're going through all the what is. I should have done this. But that you meditating in that situation is what's gonna bring like the next level of you out, you know? So
Yeah.
that's really dope that you say it, bro.
Yeah.
So well, do you recommend people to battle right now? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
what's
like-
your advice on that?
I feel like if you want to, it's always like if you want to, because you don't need to compete. There's people that get in the industry and they go towards that route without competing. There's judges that have never competed in their life, but they went towards the social media route and they went through that route, and that got them to that level, you know? So sometimes you don't need to compete. If it's something that you don't want to do, you feel pressure to do it just because you see everybody doing it, you don't have to. It's always good to do it. I feel like that took me to the next level. But if you're already there, like with a social media following, and you're already like at like a certain level, you don't have to, you know? I feel like this is to get you there. And there's many opportunities with this like whole career of barbering. You don't have to go the whole competing way. You can go the social media way. You can go the educator way. You can go like a whole like just cutting hair. There's no problem with being just a neighborhood barber. That's why I feel like a lot of people have like that problem. You don't have to be a celebrity barber. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be that. If you want to chase that. But you don't have to be that. I feel like there's barbers that nobody knows that I know making over 100K a year. You know, like. Set, ready. They have everything. They're not worrying about nothing, but they're not out there on social media like that, you know? So there's always like, I feel like that's like, everybody has their own things that they're chasing. And if they're chasing competitiveness, or they're chasing just wealth, or they're chasing just being at the shop, then that's perfect. I respect everybody. But if you're an upcoming barber and you want to compete, there's like a real beauty to it.
Yeah.
I just feel like don't get lost in it, you know?
Don't get lost in the sauce.
Don't get lost in that. Collaboration is way bigger than competition. And I feel like that's what people have messed up nowadays, you know?
Yeah.
So like you can keep going, you can keep competing, but what if you collaborate with that guy that you're competing with, and now you get his social media and your social media following, and now you just expand, you know? Rather than you go to a competition and you don't talk to nobody, you don't follow nobody. It's kind of like you walk out of there with the same followers that you walked in or you with, you know? You could win first place, but if you don't talk to nobody, that doesn't have like no effect on anything.
Yeah.
How I got my first judging was going through Paul Mitchell. You know, going through Paul Mitchell after I won first place at Paul Mitchell, I talked to one of the leaders right there, Jason, and he blessed me with the first opportunity, and from there I just, so it's like sometimes you have to talk to the people that are like throwing the events, hosting the
Yeah.
events, because a lot of people win and they just leave and nothing
They
comes
didn't
from
even
that.
say
You know?
thank you to the one that
Yeah.
hosted the whole thing.
Yeah.
bro.
Nothing comes from that. I feel like that's why I tell every barber, if you want to judge and if you want to do this, the perfect advice is go out there and communicate with people. Nothing is gonna come to you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it's hard, and you're blessed if something comes to you, you know. But you
Yeah.
have to communicate with them. I feel like
So what advice would you give to barbers that go to these events, but then they're just socially awkward, bro? They don't even know how to approach anybody. Like, how did you break out of that shell?
you gotta lose that ego. You know,
gotta
you
lose the
gotta
ego,
lose the
it's
ego.
the
You know, you
ego.
could be this 30 times, 20 times award-winning barber, 40 times award-winning barber. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean nothing, bro. You know, You got-
At the end of the day, you can still go to another state and nobody knows you. bro.
nobody knows
Yeah.
you.
And guess
Yeah.
what? You're nobody over there.
Yeah. That's why I
So-
feel like you need to communicate, talk to people, you know, just keep expanding. Everywhere you go, the room is full. I mean, talk to some people there, you know, go to the booths, go to this. You never know who's throwing the next event. That's why I tell people. You can see a lot of people going to these booths and they're doing these booths at every battle. It's for a reason, you know. They're just trying to see like how to do the events. You never know
Yeah.
who's throwing the next event, you know.
Alright.
And I feel like that's like networking is the biggest thing nowadays, you know. So it's the way I try to like keep with that. I just go to every battle and talk to them. I feel like there's a lot of barbers that don't, and that's what keeps them stuck at that certain level, you know.
Yeah, correct. So this last battle that you won, or lately that you won a lot of battles, but like me if I were to be judged by Sean Cuz here and by Giancarlo, I feel like it'll give me more of a validation. Like, damn, I won first place in these. Cause you also won one with Papi Blends, right?
Poppy
was judge?
Blends and Mr. Official, and then I won one with Sophie with Stay Gold and Stay Gold, and I think it was Yakuza.
So did you feel more pressure, like these people being the judges, compared to just like other judges that you might not know? Did you feel that pressure?
Yeah. At the last level 3 one, there was one in Anaheim. It was the owner of level 3 judging the haircut,
Jay
you know?
Norrie? Jay
Yeah.
Norrie?
Jay
Oh,
Norrie.
So that was kind of like, oh damn, that was like a lot of pressure to it. Cause when I seen the owner of level 3, I was like,
Hey, he talks smack.
Yeah.
He'll tell you straight up.
yeah. And then it was
Yeah.
at the first level at 3 I went to, it was Jay Majors going through like everything right there, you know. So it's kind of like a little bit of pressure, you know.
Damn.
But thank God it just helps. I feel like when I'm under pressure, I perform a little bit better. It went from like taking so many losses. I feel like you just like, you know, you eventually you learn. That's why I tell a lot of people that like they compete a couple times and they already end. It's like you gotta do it for like more than just chasing that trophy. You gotta
Yeah.
chase like a different level. You can't just be like, if you're competing at one and you do the same thing in the next one, and like you're still in the same level, then like, you know, I feel like you gotta keep elevating and keep elevating and keep elevating. And I just like, that's what I try to do. I learned from every mistake that I did. I learned from every loss, and I just kept on going. I never gave up. It took me like 6 times
To win your first one?
to win my first one. It took me like 6 times. I started competing at 9 months of cutting hair. I took it in really early. I did 3 categories my first competition. I drove all the way from
I think
over here.
I don't know if I saw you on your first competitions, bro. I don't, but I remember that a lot of people say like he's just starting. I was like, damn, he's already like batting great.
Yeah.
Top
Yeah,
tiers.
I was trying to just like, I was throwing myself in there, like even if like I thought I couldn't do it, I feel like that's what got me to it.
So where was that battle at the first?
The first one, it was a New Era. It was a New Era barbershop
Oh,
battle.
you-
It
you
was
guys threw a battle?
It was in OXNARD, and I threw myself in there for 3 categories, and it was like a whole story to it. I came all the way to LA to pick up my models because at the time I didn't have no clients in OXNARD. I had just moved from LA, so I had to come all the way over here to pick up my models.
Oh, but you're not working in your area yet.
I wasn't.
you are?
No, I wasn't working at New Era yet. I was
Oh,
working
shoot.
at another barbershop in Oxnard.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was working at another barbershop in Oxnard, and I heard of it. I heard of the battle, and I brought my models from all the way over here. Yeah, I didn't win no category.
You didn't win any category.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
but it was like I didn't let that stop me. You
I
know.
would be hot. Did you ever battle, bro?
Nah, I didn't. I
Yeah.
never. I was more into like making the events happen more than anything.
Yeah,
you know? Like
and that's dope.
I wanted to do that. You know, like battling. I never got kind of into that, but I was a lot there around a lot of barber battles. You know, and a lot of different events, and I just kind of gathered thoughts together and was able to bring different type of events together as well. But you mentioning that earlier on, and you got into it at what, 19 years old, right?
I was 18. When I
18
first
years
got
old.
into it.
18
Yeah.
years old when you got into that. Were you already in barber school, fresh out of barber school, or
I was just
How long were you already cutting hair as a hobby before you actually were like, you know what, I want to get into this barber battling?
I was cutting hair for 9 months. 9 months. So right before that, I hadn't gone to school. I was just studying it. I was just going. I was just competing. I started competing, and I just said, "Fuck it." It was 9 months of cutting hair, and I had met Vidal and Evan, the owners of Niera. I had met them when I just moved to Oxnard. I needed a haircut, and I had met them. I got a haircut at one of their barbers, but they had just opened the barber shop, So they had they didn't really have walk-ins because it was like a month like from them opening the shop. So they sent me to where they used to work at, and from where they used to work at, that's where I got like a little bit better. I spent a whole year right there, and from there I went to Niera. So I always had that influence from them, even if I wasn't working there. So I would go with them to battles. I would like just take off with them. I remember I went all the way over there to San Jose with them, So it's kind of like they always had that influence on me, even if I wasn't working there, which is kind of like that's why I appreciate them for that. But when I moved to Niera, it's when everything like completely like exploded for me.
Yeah, why was it? Because of the environment there, or what?
Yeah, the environment. I feel like everything was so like everything was chasing the same goal. Everybody was chasing the same goal, So it's kind of like having that much people that have that much experience around me and have like so many years cutting hair and are booked out and like, it just really helped me like focus on like what really matters and then take on the competitions, and then yeah. And when I first got there, I mean, my first battle there is like everything changed because a lot can change if you have knowledge of how to do it. I feel like if you just
because they had been battling.
Yeah, I feel like if you just go in there blind, it's super hard. But if you surround yourself around the right people and around like people that know, people that have been doing it for years, you're gonna be good. It's just always hard,
Yeah, that's dope. Not a lot of people could go into a barbershop where people are doing, like you said, they're all chasing the same goal, but there could be a difference. They're all chasing the same goal, but they don't want to help you out. They're doing good, and they're just like, nah, like it's all about me, But it's rare to find that shop where you're gonna go in and they're gonna give you the tools and the resources and the information to see you level up, So, you said the owners, is it a man and like his wife or what?
No, it's Evan and Vidal. They're both
Evan and
yeah,
Vidal.
they're two barbers.
I know
Evan and
Vidal.
Vidal.
I know him as well. Like he's
Okay.
we've conversated. I've seen him at a whole bunch of events and stuff like that. And one thing I do see, and I see the leadership in him because his guys are battling and he's from the sidelines like, hey, do this, do that, like spray here, like, oh, put a little bit more of this, and encouraging his teammates because they want to win as a team because his team is out there, competing, and he's over here in the sidelines rooting for them. And sometimes you don't get that from a lot of barbershop owners, like sometimes they just like, oh, okay, you brought the trophy home. Okay, dope. That's dope, but he actually is out there supporting the team. And I know we were talking earlier, Manny, and it seems like he tries to keep everybody on the same page. So shout outs to Vidal, like everything that he's been doing right now for New Era, which is they got what, like 3 shops now you were mentioning?
Three shops.
Yeah, 3
shops in a matter of 3 years.
3 shots in a matter of 3 years. So they're growing.
Yeah.
They're growing. They're growing, So, and then, nowadays, like, I feel like when you go to a battle, it's almost like New Era's pulling up.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It was the
now.
New Era takeover.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
a New Era takeover for the past 2-3 years, like for the past 2 years, I've been seeing them put in work. And that's where I ran into Manny. That's how I ran into Manny, and
What was it? Do you remember?
Manny actually signed up. I think I seen Manny when he did the did
Colores.
You? Yeah, at
The
Colores.
Colores
That's where I
Colores.
think I met you.
Yeah, I did tag team.
The tag team.
That's what got me into doing color.
But I met one of your other boys, Manny
Manny,
too. I think
yeah.
I met him at Alchemy. Did you go to the Alchemy battle?
Yeah, he
Right?
won. He
You
won
went?
first place at the Alchemy for taper. Manny was like,
He won first place.
Manny
for the
was
taper?
winning every big category that year. I mean,
I know.
there's no like competition that Manny didn't win that
He was
year.
so quiet about
He's
it.
like he's the most like he's really humble about it.
I talked
Like,
to him. I talked to
He's
him.
really humble about it. He's somebody that you won't see him throwing it out there. You won't see him doing this, but for that reason, he gets blessed. I think he just hit 10K on Instagram. I feel for that reason, he gets blessed because he's so like just
That's
lets
dope.
it come to him.
Hey, real 10K.
Yeah.
Real 10K.
Yeah, real 10K,
A lot of
yeah.
barbers out there hit 30, 20, but they paying. They're
Nah,
paying.
yeah, my boy got like 1 million views on there. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
which is
dope.
like having those people around you, especially Manny, is like a big
How old is
influence.
he?
You know, he's 21. He's 21. He's young too.
Young
Barber.
goat.
Yeah.
Young goat in the house.
21.
Right there.
Yeah, he's 21. And I mean, when I met him, he was barely catching on designs too, but I didn't know how to do anything. I didn't know how to do not one design. So he took me. My first battle, actually, I did tag team with Manny, and I was hoping, I was like, let me get a trophy before.
Was that Colores or no?
No, that was in Fresno. I was like, let me get a trophy before I do tag team with him, because I did 2 categories that day, you know. And I thank God I placed in taper, and then I placed in tag team with him. But he completely carried me throughout the whole thing, you know.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
but he
dope.
kind of got me in that like spirit of, you know, just keep competing. I would lose, he would be there, and he would just tell me just keep competing, you know. And
Correct.
like, I feel like having those people around you is like a big influence, especially because it was me, Manny, and then another guy named Brandon just going to every battle, you know. And we're
Yeah.
just win or lose, we would go to San Jose, San Diego.
I think the audience needs to know that how much investment goes
Oh, there's
in battling, bro. Because you
Yeah.
sometimes you pay for the model, you pay for his food too, you pay the camera guy. Like it's all an
Yeah.
expense, bro. But I see it as an investment. But you guys were traveling,
Yeah.
driving, and all that, so it was a lot.
It's
How,
expensive.
how did you process that? Like,
I just had to grind it out at the shop, you know. I just had to keep grinding because it gets expensive. I mean, you have to get the category.
so you'll grind it out, make the money. Like you know, you got your bread for the week. You're like, let me go battle.
Thank God I always like had a good I've always been able to manage money good. So I've always
Okay.
I've always been saving my money. So when I do want to go to an event, it's fine because it's not like a big like problem, you know. But I feel like for certain barbers that are like it could get expensive, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I just spent like a lot of money just going to Utah, you know. So it's like, yeah, it's like you get reimbursed for that, but it's like you put money in there, you know. So it could get expensive, you know. And I mean, going to Vegas, San Jose, San Diego, all that's what you don't see behind the scenes. That it's like it takes a lot. I mean, you have to order if you do get a costume, you have to order the costume. You pay for the expenses, you pay
Yeah.
for gas. Now you pay for the category. If you do multiple categories, you pay for those categories. If you go eat after, you got to pay for that food, you know? So it's kind of like, and you're missing out at the work at the shop, which is usually a
Correct.
Sunday. So you're talking
Yeah.
about like you're missing out at the money at the shop, and you're spending money. That's around $1,000, you know, that you're missing out that
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's a little like, it can get a little hard, but you just gotta like have that like goal in you. That's why I feel like you can't get lost in it. And I feel like from experience, it matters more to do the battles that are bigger than to do the battles that are smaller. I feel like you can go to all these small battles and keep doing all that. If you're like, if there's no name behind that event, a lot of time there's no recognition behind that, you know? So it's like, if
Yeah.
you save yourself towards bigger events and you're probably not spending money every month or every 2-3 months, because the bigger events, you could plan those out a year ahead, you know? So it's a
Yeah.
little easier to do those. So I feel like if it's like competing, but it's like on a budget, I feel like that's the best way to do it. Just go towards like events that are like a year on. I feel like all events that are big, you know them a year ahead.
What's the price range of events like usually to battle? Because I seen some they start like at 75.
75,
50.
big events, it's 75 to 150, 200 even if I do the tag team, you know. But you split that up in half, you know, so it's a little bit less. But when you do travel out of state, it's like you gotta think about like the Airbnb. You gotta think about everything, you know.
What's the
so,
biggest
Yeah.
cash prize that you've taken right now? That you've won?
$1,000 in the San Diego one.
$1,000?
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I want to do a little bit bigger ones. I seen all the bigger ones are like out of state.
Yeah.
All the bigger ones.
That
are out of
Vegas
state.
one is gonna have
Yeah, Vegas one
big
has
check,
like
huh?
yeah,
Like 5,000 or something.
5,000.
I heard
cash.
CT's 5,000. I think I was
CT
telling you.
had one that was 15,000.
15,000. Remember I told you
15,000, yeah.
15,000.
15
bro.
G.
Yeah, CT had
That
one
pays
that
for
was
your
shit.
whole trip to over there and back, and still have some.
Yeah,
But I feel like people who compete at CT, bro, I like their maniac, but like I like the way they're just like you could say they're psycho about it because they're paying for their model to travel all the way there too. Some people, bro.
Yeah,
Some of these battles are giving out crazy stuff now. Like last year, I think it was last year when we went to the battle with El Fantasma, they gave out a car.
they gave out a car. I just
They gave out a whole car, bro.
No way.
A whole car, bro.
I didn't
like,
hear about
that guy was just in Utah. He was just competing in Utah. He the one that
Well,
won
who
the car.
hosted it?
what? He was from Peru, right?
He's
or
from
something?
Peru.
He's
Yeah,
from
he's
Peru,
from Peru.
right?
I think he's residing in Vegas now.
Like,
But
yeah.
he's from Peru. Yeah, he started taking over the whole competition game. I seen him with his little kid. He was
Yeah.
taking his little kid everywhere, winning first place everywhere. When I seen him win that car, I was like, damn.
won
Yeah,
a
you know?
car.
he won that car. We had a few people from the shop competing at that competition as well.
I would have signed
You
up.
know, it was
don't
lit.
hurt. It
It
don't
was
hurt.
lit.
It was lit.
Like,
Yeah, it was a freestyle
was dope.
category. Yeah, that's
It was
crazy.
dope. It was in Anaheim, huh?
Yeah,
That
it was in I think it was a Fantasma. Yeah, Fantasma hosted the whole event. Rob the
how-
Original was there too.
Rob
I
the
think.
Original, I
so
think
it was Fantasma's thing, and I think it was Rob the Original
And Bebe
then-
Latino, huh?
and Bebe Latino.
So how
Like,
was that
the
battle?
one
Did,
people
do you
behind
guys
it.
did you guys like it? Like the whole setup, everything. You guys loved it.
It was cool.
'Cause
I
they
think
have,
it
like-
was good.
Yeah.
I think that towards the end it got a lot better. Like the whole barber battle for the car. Like everyone was hyped for that.
Okay,
You know, but I think that day too. I feel like when it's rainy outside, it kind of fucks it up for a lot of people, bro. Like it kind of like so draggy. And I think that day it was raining.
That's how I
But he
felt.
still pulled his crowd. Like he was doing a lot of promo and a lot of good stuff, you know, and everything went good. You know, Rob the Original was there. A lot of people, a lot of different celebrities that were there. Like, and people just some people didn't recognize them, but there were. I saw Misael Chef there, the guy from Mama Por Dios and all that, all those restaurants.
Oh.
He was there, so like they pulled like a different type of crowd too, because you know they had the grupo and live music playing there that day.
They pulled
as
that
well.
celebrity crowd, huh?
Yeah,
Like,
they put like that celebrity cross, something different. You know,
Yeah,
they show your
I like the
talent off
idea.
to,
I like
to
the
different
idea of
people
it.
because just that day at that battle, you run into these different people that are outside of the industry, and then these entrepreneurs can become your clients just by having a conversation. Like you win the battle, like, hey, you know what? Cut my hair for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
You know,
You can meet a lot of people. There's this
So-
guy that blew up. I don't know. He's from Pomona. His name is Alex Cuts. He's like I think like
Oh, I know.
yeah, Alex Cuts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hit him up.
just connecting.
Hopefully we can try to get him.
Yeah, hopefully he comes in here. Just connecting. And he's like blowing up right now. You know, he would go everywhere. He was at BarberCon cutting hair at a little.
Oh, I think
little
that's where I saw
Yeah,
him.
he was at
That's where I
BarberCon.
saw him, BarberCon.
Yeah, he was going everywhere with little show, little case cutting hair everywhere. I was like, damn, he blew up though. He's cutting like all the celebrities for Saturday.
Yeah. Chino something, right?
Yeah, Chino Pacas,
Yeah, Chino
everybody. That's
Placa.
crazy.
yeah.
Crazy. I feel like those opportunities are the ones that you have to like. That's why I feel like networking is always big. You know.
Yeah,
Go to,
he-
like,
but he was putting in the work. You
Yeah.
see, he was going over there, shaking people's hands, and you know, talking to them and conversating, and not leaving the ego on the side and just being humble, being himself, and look where he's at.
yeah, I mean, I
You know?
would see him post on his story. He posted he was at the America camp when they were training.
Yeah,
5 hours later, he's cutting him up. You know, so he goes. I don't know how he did it, but he was there at the training camp. A couple hours later, he was cutting them all up. Like I feel like it's just networking. You know.
do you guys think any barbers have
Damn.
like agents that get them gigs?
I
and
heard of
stuff
that.
like
I
that.
heard
Like
of-
where there's like, you know what? You know how the people sign, for example, like Rancho Milda's signing upcoming artists, right?
Yeah.
Like you think it would be smart to have an agent to sign people to get them high top paying clients, you know, like gather a few barbers and be like, hey, you know what? I'm connected with this record label. They do rap. Get you to get them to cut their hair, or like these upcoming celebrity kids, you know, that you know are modeling and stuff like that. And they need haircuts for their stuff, and their top paying clients. You know, you start getting booked up going that route.
I heard,
You
I heard
know?
of agencies like that. I heard.
Yeah,
of
there's
agencies
one,
like
right? There's one like a VMA.
that. Yeah,
VMC.
you gotta pay for. I think you pay like.
You go to the school.
Yeah,
And they
then-
connect you, bro, and they help you like cut. They help you cut hair on set. So you're cutting before a movie. You might cut like a rapper that's gonna come out of the movie. You're lining him up. I think it facilitates the whole deal, bro.
Is that with Robert? I think his name's Robert. That's the one in LA, right?
No, I know one where there's some homie called TCP. I don't know you guys know TCP.
Nuh-uh.
Or TPC, the private club.
I heard
Oh,
one of
okay.
LA. I heard there was one in LA. That's the one.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, you know, to get people on like that, you know, but they might be able to be getting a cut from that. You get me? Like for putting people on. So when you're out here, right? So taking it back to leading up to, you know, being young, getting started and, you know, barbering and getting into your battles early. How did you even get into barbering to begin with?
Oh, so I grew up out here in South Central in LA. So it was like it was a little tough growing up, you know. So it was kind of like I never was like, you know, like I was around that life, but I never wanted to do that to make money, you know, do like crazy shit or do this, like, you know. So I always wanted to have like a right way of like making money, but I wasn't good at school, you know. I remember I was going to Fremont. I was going to Fremont High School, and
Shout out to Fremont.
shout out Fremont. Yeah, shout out Fremont. I was going to Fremont High School, and it was 11th grade, and I just I felt like it wasn't for me, you know. And
Bro, I started cutting hair at Fremont.
at Fremont.
With the in the cosmetology class.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was at Fremont, and that's when I started. Shout out to my boy Chuco Cuts. He's like a big influence for me, dog. Cause he got me into cutting. I was like, I would tell him, and it would be like I was just messing around. But one day he pulled up. I pulled up to get a haircut, and he was there, you know, and he was telling me, he was like, just get these machines. The plug is coming up right now, you know. And I had that chance right there to get it. It was either I got him there or like I was gonna keep like procrastinating, you know. So I got him, and thank God it was during COVID, so everybody was getting a
Oh my
haircut.
God.
Yeah,
So
They
you
call it
started
the
cutting
COVID
hair
barbers.
during that time?
yeah. I started cutting hair
During COVID, man.
Yeah,
COVID
bro,
seems
there's-
like it was just last year,
Because
you
there's
know,
a
but it's
thing,
been
though.
a few years back,
Yeah.
right?
There's this thing like they call them COVID barbers. There's
Yeah,
a
that
lot
was-
of barbers that started cutting hair during COVID.
Yeah, I was part of that. I was part of that. I
That's
remember I started
crazy.
cutting hair, and I'm going up to like 4 years now.
Okay.
4 years now. So I
No.
started in around May 2020. That's when I bought my machine.
Mm.
So that's when I did my first ever haircut, and I had another homie that he sells shoes now. He's like
Okay.
he's a shoe plug now, but he was like cutting hair at that time, and he was like going through like every haircut with me, you know. So I did like 5 haircuts like that, and eventually I just went on my own route. And
Yeah.
at 3 months I was working in the shop. At 3 months I was working
So
in
you
the shop.
before you guys were working like you're just out of your house.
Yeah, I was just
out
out
of
of
your
my
house,
house.
just practicing,
Yeah.
getting these reps in, huh?
Yeah, I had a garage, and I decked out my whole garage. I spray painted the wall cool and shit. I had like a little logo. I had like my barber chair. I ordered everything. Thank God my mom.
Sick.
My mom always supported me like a
Yeah,
lot.
our parents were.
Yeah, she was like, thank God she's like she's a little younger. My mom's 37, so she
Mm.
knew about the whole barbering. You know, she knew that it was like I feel like there's a lot of like wrong mentality with the older folks. You know, that think like you cutting hair, you're not making no money. You cutting hair,
yeah.
you're not like, you know, you're not like really making bread or nothing. That's not a career. I feel like thank God my mom always seen it like that's a career. You know, she knows
Mm.
people like I have like family that are like in that. You know, so I feel like it's always been like real supportive from my parents, and I feel like that always helped me a lot. You know.
Yeah, that's super dope because me growing up, when I was in college, I swear, bro, it was weird. They were like, "What do you do? Where do you work at?" And I'll be like, "I'm a barber," but I'll be embarrassed. I don't know why. Like, I just like, because I had this like mentality that these people around me are in college were doing something in life, right? So when I said I was a barber, for me, it was like I was degrading myself in front of them. But turns out at some point I'm like, all these people right here, they ain't doing crap. They're just wasting their
Nah,
time.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
so at some point I was like, I'm a barber. I started telling them I'm a barber. And at that point I'm already making good money. So I'm like, nobody could tell me anything because these fools are in debt. They're walking around not knowing what they want to do with their life. And me, I already know
No,
I
yeah.
want to do barbering.
And there's like coming from where I come from, you know, coming from LA, I have all my family out here in LA, you know, in South Central. So it's kind of like breaking that little door, you know, of making money, you know, of like
Yeah.
actually making a real
Actually
amount of
making money.
Like actually making money is kind of like, it's like just opening like that door, you know. That's why I want to have my barbershop eventually and have all this just to keep that for my family, you know, because I feel like coming from out here, you don't have nobody to like show you something, you know. I feel like
There's no one to show you taxes, how to register the shop, how to deal with legal issues. There's no one showing you that.
No.
And you, like you said, you're breaking that you're creating this pathway, bro, that your family, your next generation are gonna be able to like open their own shop. Who knows now if they know all the little details of taxes and corporation and how to establish and run a business, they could go on and create bigger things just because we took the risk. Like we were talking about editing the podcast, it's so hard. Like but you're learning because you want the next generation to come and you give it to them, and now they have the opportunity to go and create, bro, other things, you know. So it's dope. I think the shop is gonna help you a lot, bro, to like start learning the world of business, you know, like how money really works and how we can invest this money to create generational wealth, you know. so I wanted to ask you where are you now in your career? Like, what is Manny trying to do right now? Like, what's your next big idea, or like, what's moving forward? How do you want to end your, or like, I didn't even say end your career because you're just beginning your career, but what do you have in mind for these upcoming years right now?
Right now, I'm just like I'm hustling right now. I need to put my name out there, completely out there. You know, I need to go like all over United States. I want to get to the point where like I organically grow. You know, I feel like it's a little hard. You know,
Yeah.
but it's just keep going. I feel like all the people that I seen that make it, they just never stopped. You know, so I feel like that's where I'm at right now.
Longevity.
I just need to keep going right now, and I want to put my name out there. That's the point that like I'm trying to like. If I need to go like to Chicago to go do it, I'll go to Chicago to go do it. If I need to go over here to go do it, I'll go do it. I just feel like that's what I want to do. I want to expand my name right now.
And
But
how do you visualize yourself doing that and owning a shop?
I feel like that would be hard.
uh-huh.
That's why I have like the shop for me is like putting in this work to eventually do it. You know, I feel like there's a lot of people opening shops with no work behind it, and sometimes the business won't. You know, it won't flatter. I feel like that's why Vidal and Evan they're so successful. It took them 10 years, but 10 years of hard work, 10 years of taking over the whole city. You know, from there they brought a whole bunch of people, but I feel like it takes time. You got to put in that work. You got to put in that work behind it. You can't just like open a shop just because you got the money for it. You know, I feel like it takes like real work behind it, and that's what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting for it. When I feel like God's timing is right,
Yeah.
I feel like because everything comes with God. You know, I feel like it's
Mhm.
like if He knows when the right time is for everything, so I don't rush nothing. You know, so it's like it just if I imagine that, I feel like it'll be really hard. You know, just to travel and owning a shop. I feel like it's hard. That's why I see and I respect people that don't do it anymore. That are just strictly just owning the shop and they don't cut hair no more. They don't. I respect it, you know, even if it's just they're done with it. I respect it because it's like it's life, you know. So it's hard to balance life and cutting hair and barbering and then
Yeah.
there's battle and then it's just a little hard. So I feel like just staying like like cool minded and just keeping your feet on the ground is like the key to it.
Yeah.
So
dope.
with you mentioning to us that and the audience that you wanna get your name out there and continue to doing that, keep doing that. In what way, shape, or form do you want to get your name, Manny Bless Hands out? Is it are you gonna just continue to compete everywhere, or are you trying to take different routes like education, judging, things that you kind of starting to get more comfortable with doing, whether it's maybe even starting a podcast or like you say opening up the barbershop. Where do we see Manny as his next move in what direction?
Right now, I'm going towards the whole judging thing. I want to go towards the whole judging and educator route, but I feel like I have to put in work for that educator route. You know, I feel like you have to have a crowd behind you. I could throw a
Yeah.
class, but if nobody's interested in what I have to throw them, you know, what is the point of throwing a
Correct.
class? You know, so I feel like going to just proving my name. Still, I need to hit all the big events in California, do all this. Still, I will keep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep competing, but I don't want to be lost in it like I was because at a certain point in my career, I was just thinking about competing, which is like it could like kind of like get you like a little bit like too competitive to the point where you're not making no progress, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I want to just go towards the whole judging right now. I want to go towards like just keeping that route. The competing, I'm pushing it a little bit towards the side right now, and I want to just still go to events. I want to stay in the industry, just in a different route.
Yeah.
Something that can get me to stay elevated, you know, something that keeps moving forward. I don't want to be stuck in the same thing because I've been competing for 3 years. I feel like if I keep competing, it's just I'm just gonna keep on
Yeah.
competing forever, you know. So I feel like I want to eventually throw an event. I want to like that's why I want to put in that work right now to eventually throw that event. And I feel like if I could get connections from all over this country, all over everywhere, then it'll be easier for me to throw that event, you know, because that's my route.
Yeah.
I want to have an event. I want to have an expo, and I want to have like one of the biggest expos in California. But
Something
for
different.
that, yeah, something different. That's why I feel like for that, it's like it takes time.
That's
Make-
dope.
make
I feel
sure
like
you-
I feel like we do need that. Like,
Yeah.
I
Make sure
feel-
you count us in that event.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Let us know. Let us know. Got some knowledge behind that. So, if that's your dream, to just work on that. You definitely got us. To help out and help you with reach to where you want to reach. So, tell us where are we gonna find Manny at next after obviously this podcast is dropping later, but where can we see Manny at in the upcoming months?
I'm gonna be in May 5th. I'm gonna be in the Paul Mitchell Pasadena. They're gonna be doing an event with In the Chair Barber Expo So they're coming for the Pasadena Convention Center. We're gonna have a barber battle. It's gonna be a live show. We're gonna have I think they have a model walk.
Runway?
So yeah, it's like
You say
cosmetologists.
May 5th?
Yeah, May 5th.
Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo in the Pasadena Convention Center.
I think that's CT
Yeah,
too.
that's
CT
what I
Barber
was
Expo,
seeing.
yeah.
That's why I was seeing. I was like, I want to go to CT, but they have me judging and like kind of like going through this event. So it's
I
like,
think May 5th might be the Grammys. Is that a Sunday? If it's a Sunday, it's the Grammys. You still could go to the whole expo.
yeah, because I think the expo's a Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I can, I want to do both because I do need to compete in something like that, you know. But that's where I will be at next, and if not, it'll be October 13th. I'll be in Las Vegas at the Wrist Flicking Obsession. So they're like something really big, and I feel like they're pushing the same thing that I want to push. Like their judges, they're everybody that competes. Their judges is like it's people that like have like knowledge in it or people that like been through that, because I feel like it's a like you only know if you know, like if you spend so much money and you drive this far and you think you did good and you feel like you know, and it all comes to like favoritism or like that's why I tell everybody competing is like all like just subjective. You know, you're coming down to somebody's opinion. So I feel like it's like if you know what it feels like to lose and put so much money into it, you think a little bit more than just that one's cool, that one's cool, that one's cool. I feel like if you're like you've been through it, you actually like look at the haircuts.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're taking time that man, this shit takes time. You know, like this person didn't just like there's a whole work behind it. And I feel like some people just have a beer in their hand, they're smoking a blunt outside. You know, by the time they're judging, they're already all fucked up. You know, and
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say nothing, but I've kind of like you know I've been through it now to where like the whole judging side to where I can see like you know what sometimes I was mad for a reason. Sometimes it was right because now that I'm judging with all these people, sometimes I'm like, hold on, how do you
How you
how do
saying
you
this
see
haircut
that?
is clean?
Yeah, how do you see that? Like, how do you like kind of like know like how do you not see this and how do you see that? That's why I feel like it does come down to an opinion. You know, that's why I feel. That's why I tell everybody don't feel bad because
Yeah.
some of the biggest people during the biggest events out here are you know
Yeah.
have like a crazy way of thinking. You know, but I feel like that's just what's wrong with the industry right now, and I feel like that's what Wrist Flicking Obsession is correcting. They're like they're going for the third year now. They have it in the Strip. It's like it's an event in the Strip. Yeah,
Okay.
it's in Las Vegas. So
I might go to Vegas for that event.
yeah, that one's cool. It's October 13th. It's a cool event.
Because they also have the Las Vegas Barber Expo,
Yeah,
right?
the
With
LV
Jay
Barber
Majors
Expo.
and
That
Yeah.
one's big.
Style Barber. Are
So-
they
so
they
ho-
are almost. Is that what like August?
That's August. That
That's
was
August.
I went
So
I
last
think
year.
it was
for-
August or September. It was September.
Yeah, last year I was a model at the LV Barber Expo, and right after that I went to Wrist Flicking Obsession. So I was in Vegas like 3 times last year.
Damn.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Crazy.
I feel like that's a good place to go compete. I mean, it's like Vegas. Everybody knows where Vegas is at. You
Correct.
know? So it's like
So what will you change from these barber battles? Like, what's something that you're like to make it more fair, or because what I've heard, like there hasn't been a battle where they judge the shear work at its perfection, and there's a lot of barbers that because there's a lot of barbers that do just shear work and fades, and they want to go battle in the creative haircut, and then they get mad because they're like, oh well, I did all this shear work and it's perfect. Their shear work is not, and how am I losing, right? Because they want to get judged on the shear work. So that's something that I will kind of change. But what will you change from the barber battles?
I feel like for certain categories there's certain stuff. You know, I feel like when you think of creative haircut, I feel like if you're like if you bring a Josh OP, maybe Josh OP will think that, oh shit, maybe he'll be able to see that. But if you don't have the knowledge to see that, then you won't be able to recognize it. Because I know a lot of people, like people from Anaheim and people like from like Orange County that like get down with the shears, you know?
Yeah.
But you're not judging that a lot of the times, you know, because when people think creative haircut for like, not everybody, but for like people like that are competing, you probably think of design, color, this, that. So you judge that, you know? So I feel like if you bring a Josh OP or you bring a Giancarlo or something like that,
Jack Louis.
yeah, Jack Louis, somebody that like has knowledge in that, then yeah, they'll probably like see it, give it more like of a chance. But I feel like now creative haircut is gone so crazy, you know? People are doing SFX, people are doing
Yeah.
the whole like designs, they're doing like abstract thing that you don't even know what the hell it is. There's like fucking like drawings and stuff. I feel like the whole barbering game has evolved a lot.
You think that's too much for a battle?
I think it's too much if you don't execute it right. If you do a haircut and it's like all makeup and it's all this and all that, and the haircut doesn't look good, and you try to save it with this, it's not gonna save it. You know, that's where I feel like as a judge, I look at the haircut before anything else. I don't look at the. You could have like a whole crazy ass like SFX or a whole costume on or everything. For me, it's a haircut, and I feel like that's what like people get messed up nowadays. That they try to make up for everything else, but they don't do the haircut right. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the day, it's like that's what matters. So I think that's cool bringing the whole SFX in there, but I feel like the whole shear work and everything is like that's dope.
Yeah, that'd be.
feel like-
I think that'd be a whole different
I
category.
think there needs to be a category for
yeah, a
that.
whole specific category.
I feel
with
like-
specific judges.
I think where you shine on that, it's like classic haircut. You do a pompadour or something. You do like
Yeah.
a traditional haircut. You do like
So
something
flare
where
the
like
back.
you flare the back out. I feel like that's where you really shine. But crop top, you really shine and stuff like
yeah,
that. You know,
crop top.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's certain people that I will not step in crop top with, you know, because I have no knowledge of that. You know, there's people that like can do a whole crazy crop top, 15 minutes and have it looking crazy. You know, whereas like I feel like it's just an art on its own. And scissor work, there's a guy, the guy from Hanzo pulls up to the barbershop. He's like,
What's
he
his
explains
name?
it.
Is it Güerito?
No, he's Asian. Yeah, he's
Okay.
a Hanzo representative. He was at Premiere. I know him. Yeah, he's
Okay.
yeah, he pulls up to the shop. He's always like talking about the whole scissor game and everything. It's like it's the most expensive tool that you can buy, you know. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of like
You know what kind of what you were saying. I'm kind of on the edge on that because I felt like from a competitor's point of view, it's a little different because sometimes the competitors are at fault because they get into competitions and they say, for example, freestyle, right?
Yeah.
They get into that type of competition and they don't read the fine print. Like, what are you going to be judged on? It's creative. Anything goes. Then the person that added enhancements and all that wins. And you're like, man, mine was natural, XYZ. Like, I really got down. It was a dope design. But the other person took more time to enhance their haircut because that was fair in the game. And then some people feel like, nah, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. Or they'll go in a traditional classic haircut, and then they want to use enhancements on that
Yeah.
when you shouldn't, you know. And then they lose, and then they feel like, hey, you know what? So I feel like when they put out these battles and you join these battles, there's obviously a DM that you could DM like, hey, what are you gonna judge on? What are you gonna, what are we doing here? Like, so that way you can communicate and you can solidify how to execute your game plan. If you make sure that you talk to them, you get the info, you read the fine print, you sign up, you come to the day of the event, they're there, they'll be like, okay, I signed up for this, can we use enhancements? Can we not? Can we
Yeah.
use glitter spray? Can we use, is the makeup and the whole outfit gonna, fit for this category? Yes. Yeah, everything goes. Boom, do it. And then you see where the special effects and all that actually complemented the haircut a lot.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where it's futuristic face and like devil horns, on the haircut, and it's almost like it doesn't go. you
Yeah.
know? It doesn't
Yeah.
go. Like sometimes, that haircut, it looks cool because you're used to doing that, and it may have won you another competition, but it doesn't fit this category at this time around. So I think those things like that, it's really a double-edged sword because you just have to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into when you're competing and making sure that you know what the rules are. But a good thing that I know that you said was going to competitions that are getting judged by people that are actually have been battling,
Yeah.
Yeah.
opposed to someone that has 100,000 followers on Instagram and maybe all of the followers are bot or whatnot, and they just got a hype going on right now. And they're a local city barbershop that is doing the battle, and then they're like, you know what, let's put them in because I've done events before, and sometimes I want to get people in there that are relevant at the time,
Yeah,
that are
correct.
relevant, that are putting in the work in the moment. They may not be the biggest barbers, but they are putting themselves out there. They're putting in the work. Let's give them an opportunity, because sometimes, like us, we want to get an opportunity sometimes, or we were at a point in our career where we wanted to get the opportunity, and all these big dogs, they're just like not even looking down on us no more. You know, like they're just like, oh, I made it. That's it. You know, like I'm gonna take it from here on out. You know, like what we were talking about earlier. You know, like I feel like that's what LA needs. You know, like for us to kind of uplift everyone and be like, hey, you know what? Like let's give them the stage for a bit. You know, it's not
Yeah.
costing us, and let's get these people going, because these people are the future. The new
Right.
upcoming barbers are the future.
And
You know?
that's what I noticed in LA too when I was growing up here. Is just it's a lot of hate, bro. There's a lot of
Yeah.
hate when it's like a so like instead of being more of a community, bro, it's like it's too much fucking hate, you know. When it's like
Yeah.
they won't teach you nothing out here.
Mm-mm.
They'll hold it back. When it's kind of like you'll go somewhere else and you'll learn so much,
Yeah, correct.
which is like that's the problem with LA, and we could be the pinnacle of barbering. We should be the best
We
barbers
should.
in the whole country. It's LA, you know. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like if there was more coming together and there was more collaboration, I feel like it would be way better, you know, because
Yeah.
LA is the spot.
Correct. You know what I realized, that like talking about like the LA barbers, like they're gatekeepers, right? And I feel like I was able to reach another level in my career, and like getting these classes full when I was hearing this one guy say give everything out for free. And I was like, why am I gonna go take a class, which I paid $1,000, and then come and give it for free? Doesn't make sense, right? But people love the information you get. But something that I came to realization was I could give the barber all the information, bro, that's gonna make him successful. And guess what? He still has a chance of failing because he still has to go put in the work.
Yeah.
That's why I never care about giving out their information. Like everyone that goes to my classes, they ask me, "Hey, how do you do your bookkeeping? How do you book appointments? How you did your logo?" I give it to them for free because I know that they still gotta go home and put in their work, and I know unfortunately they're gonna go home and they're not gonna do it. But I already did my duty. I gave them the information for free.
Yeah, and that's how I got into cutting. That's how I got into coloring here. Thank God, Lavish, he works with you. He
Oh,
yeah, he hooked me up a lot with that. You know,
Lavish
with the
hooked you up?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dope.
Well, a lot of that with the whole coloring hair and everything. Since that changed everything for me. You know, it was like
Yeah.
I was not doing no color to completely like being able to do a platinum, being able to do this. I feel like coloring is really underrated, and it could take you to a whole new level if
Yeah.
you really like use it right. Which is kind of like Papi Blends. He stood out from his coloring, you know, completely. He's colorist of the year, and a lot of barbers lack on that. They focus on design,
Yeah.
they focus on fades and everything, but a big aspect and a big money maker is color. You look at
Yeah,
the,
it is.
Yeah.
you look at the women, you look at all the people that are making money. A lot of times they're coloring all day, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
I always tell people too, as long as you have one color a week
oh, you're
and
making.
you're charging 400, and last time I just did a color, bro, I was able to do 4 haircuts before the color. It was 12 p.m. I did the color, and I still did 2 haircuts afterwards.
Yeah, you can spread it
Yeah.
out with time.
Yeah, and you're like, oh damn, I had a good day. I wasn't too busy. I was doing the color is stressing, bro. But
Yeah, it's stressful.
if you're doing it right and you're taking the right protocols, everything's gonna come out as it should come out. And then you're enjoying your day. I just want to ask a question, simple question. How many haircuts are you doing right now a day? Or like how many hours are you working a week right now? While you're balancing events and all this stuff.
I'm working like I'm in there every day, bro.
Every day? How many
In
hours?
there
Like 12 hours every day?
Yeah, I'm in there every day. If I have an event, I'll take a day off for an event.
What are you using to book right now?
I use Booksy. So I have
Booksy.
Booksy. Yeah, I have Booksy, and I try to use that to like I've been using that for like a year now. So
Dope,
thank God, and
dope.
they throw me like a lot of clients too.
Mm.
Thank God, Booksy boosts. It's like I've gotten NFL players from there. I've gotten Grammy awarded like producers from there. It's kind of like just through Boost, which is like really good for me.
I've been
especially-
wanting to change, bro, but I feel like it's too late to change because I've been using the cut for like 4 years. But I heard of Booksy Boost.
Oh,
Nah,
Booksy
but I
Boost
use
is good.
Booksy
You
too.
use Booksy?
Booksy's fire, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Shout out to
That-
Booksy.
yeah, you know what's crazy is that we started. Booksy was one of the sponsors of Colores when
Oh, yeah?
you know we were using Squire at the barbershop. And you know what's crazy is that, you know, we were promoting, I was out at the ISSC when ISSC was still around, when we were promoting Colores, big brands were there. And all it took for me was just to run into the booth spoke to the right people, gave them the flyer, they sold it to them, and they loved it. They
showed
loved
up.
the idea of what we were getting ready to do. Then I got an email from them. First, I got a DM and they asked me for my email. Then they sent me an email. Now I'm talking to one of the representatives over here from Southern California, and she's like, "Hey, I want to meet with you. Let's go ahead and I'm really interested on this event." We met up with her, and we switched over, bro, just for the hospitality that she had and everything. And she helped us out with the event, got a few people in there for us. So they were really, really helpful. And that's just like little old me just coming in there and talking to them. We were able to get that. Then the whole barbershop transition to Booksy.
Yeah.
You know, we left Squire. They helped us out getting all our clients. And we started, I think they were charging us, I think it was like $20. Now it's like $30. I
30
think.
bucks a month.
No, it's
Yeah.
30, it's
Yeah.
30 bucks a
30
month.
bucks a
you know?
month. If they give you a client, I think it's like 10% off. They take
Yeah.
10% off, but that's only the first time. So
Only the
second-
first
only
time the
the
client
first
comes,
time.
they get the
second
piece.
time they come back, if you lock them in, they won't charge you no more. But it helps a lot. I
Yeah, it
mean,
does. It does.
This-
Booksy's awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
they say on a slow
it's
day,
really
you,
good.
you have a little slow day, you have some openings, they'll fill in with that boost, which is
Mm.
especially working by the base. I have people that come from like all over the country, you know, so they have boost, Booksy. Booksy's like their main usage, or the cut app. The cut app, I had it for a minute too. It just wasn't giving me as much clients.
Yeah, it doesn't give you
as-
a lot of
as Booksy.
promotion.
Yeah.
What's your price? What price are you at right now?
Right now I'm at 35. 35 just because
And
of
with
the
beer,
with beard I charge 45.
45.
Yeah. So that's-
Hour service or
yeah, I take 45 minutes to an hour. I don't like going too quick. Yeah, I
Okay.
take 45 minutes to an hour, but I will work from like 5 a.m. all the way till 9 p.m. sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it is like sometimes an all day thing. And thank God where I'm at, it like it say I have a cancellation. The shop is like right in like a shopping center. So there's
Walking.
always a walk-in. Yeah, there's always a walk-in. So thank God it like
So I know you're from LA and you wanna and you're in Oxnard. We were talking about this earlier, but let's go ahead and let the audience know. Do you want to come back to LA, bro?
yeah, I feel like that's my goal. LA is like there's always like that special feeling with like I grew up here. I want to make it here, you know? Like Oxnard is like has been so good for me and I thank Oxnard for everything, but eventually my goal is to move back to LA. It is to like be out here. I feel like I've missed opportunities sometimes because I'm an hour away, you know?
Yeah.
Like where like I can cut the celebrity up, but I'll be there in 2 hours, bro. Like it's kind of like
Damn.
some food can be there in 30 minutes, you know? So it's like, I want to be like, even if it's living in Oxnard, I want to be working in LA, which I feel like that's the best part. If I'm working in Oxnard, I skip a little bit of the traffic in LA and I stay back in Oxnard, but I could go to LA all the time. You know, I'm only an hour away. So
Yeah.
it's like, I have family out here too that if I were to come work out here, I can stay out here. But I just feel like it's just me taking that risk, which is like, what's the biggest like problem. But I want to do it. I need to come back to LA.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. So another question I have for you, you know, when it has nothing to do with barbering, what are you doing, bro? Anything you like? What is your pastime?
I'm so focused on this that that's where I'm lacking. That's where I'm like I need to like focus. Whereas like I'm so focused on cutting hair and I'm so focused on this competition that I need to focus on life. You know, which is like the biggest thing. You know, I need to like when I was growing up, I grew up very like super religious. Like, and now that I cut hair, I don't even have time for none of that. You know, where it's
Yeah.
kind of like I could make time and I should be making time, and it stops me from like doing stuff like that. Where like I have no hobby. I'm basically in the shop the whole time. Where like that's where I'm trying to change, and I feel like that affects a lot of barbers.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like we're making money, but we're in there all day, so it's like it's hard to have a hobby, which like I feel like I should. You know, I used to like go to the church. I used to go play soccer. I don't do none of that no more. You
yeah.
know? Which is kind of like the pros and cons about this.
Yeah. Some advice that I could give you, bro, that I think that will help a lot of people watching this is, for sure, creating a budget, creating a schedule, and then prioritizing, like you said, life, right? I think us as barbers, we don't have. There has to be some pillars in our life that we water every day, which is our family, right? Our relationship, our mind, our spirit, bro. And what helped me, bro, was trusting in God that whatever work I had during the week, I was gonna, and while taking 2 days off, that's sufficient for me to live off of. You get me? So once I got, it's not, people might confuse as getting comfortable. You might get comfortable, like, oh, I'm making this much and my rent. No, but once you make a good amount, you're like, okay, I could afford to take 2 days off and work five. Like, take those 2 days off, bro. Like, rest. Just
Yeah.
rest. Go do whatever you, go get an ice cream, go to the beach, go buy yourself some shoes, but have those 2 days where you're like, these 2 days, I'm not cutting hair, I'm not doing it. Like today, for me, this is my day off. I get to come here, do what I gotta do. I gotta pick up my wife. I already told her I'm gonna cook for you, so I'm gonna cook for her. Might hit the gym, but I'm doing things that I love today. And like you said, like it affects a lot of artists because then you can't go inside the shop and be the best version of yourself if you haven't taken care of your body, of your mind, and your spirit. You know. So
Yeah.
you're young though, bro, and but I honestly I salute your mindset right now because your mindset's in the right place. You just gotta learn how to. I don't even think balance is the right word, bro, because um, we're gonna live an unbalanced life. We just gotta learn how to be present. When we're doing hair, be present there. When we're our family, be present with our family. You know, but you're young, bro. You have a lot of things ahead of you, and I feel like right now your mindset is in the right place. Like I said, and it's just about small little habits, small little changes that you got to do. And while I'm here, I want to take the time to just give you your flowers too. Like I be keeping up with you since I met you. I think I met him at Colores too, bro.
Yeah.
I met him at Colores, and I remember I asked him and man, like, how old are you guys? And they look young. I thought they were related. Don't they look alike? I thought they were related.
thought they were
related. I'm seeing you guys go out to these battles, new era here, take over, and I'm just like, and I remember I went up to you like Colores. I went up to you like other battles, and I'll see him. I'm like, what's up, bro? How's it going? But everything that you've been doing, bro, honestly, like keep doing it. Don't stop. Have that vision that you have right now, and like I salute you for everything that you got to do. I know there's good things coming to your in the near future, bro. It's either you want to open up a shop or you want to create your event. I think you're gonna be able to do it because you're already building that network, bro. You already put your name out there. Maybe sometimes you think like, oh, I want to be super global, you know, like, but we don't appreciate that at least a few people already know us. You know, now you could go to any event, bro, and I'm sure people know who Mannyblesshands is. Like, there'll be some rooms you walk into where no one's gonna know, but that's okay. That's
It's
another opportunity. You
Yeah,
know?
it's opportunity to grow it, and that's why. Thank you. That's what I feel like. It's like just takes time, to build that name, and I feel like I'm just gonna keep on going because there's so much opportunities out there. It's just you gotta try it, and I feel
Mhm.
like I won't feel good later if I don't try it. Like
Yeah.
at least I have to try it. If
Yeah.
it doesn't work out for me, then it won't work out for me. I have to be at the shop, and it's cool. But
And if it doesn't
I
work
wanna
out
try
for
it.
you, bro, you're still hella young.
Yeah.
You're so young, bro.
yeah, and that's what I want to just. I need to try it. I feel like there's no like risk without that reward. So
Dope.
whatever it is, I'm gonna go all in.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right, bro. And I also I'm super duper proud of you, bro. Since the moment that I met you to what you came this far, 30 plus trophies is definitely something that you could say you put your work in. Still at a very young age, there's a lot of room for you to grow, a lot of room for you to continue to kill it in the game. So cheers to you, more blessings to you, a lot of
Thank you.
success, and I definitely want you to really think about making that time for yourself and starting getting used to that now because you're going to the top and you're going really fast, bro. So
Thank you.
enjoy this ride, and when you're already looking back and you're just toasting with great people and surrounded by loved ones and the people that fill your heart, and you're gonna be like, man, I'm glad I was able to take those 2 days off. I'm glad that I'm into all these things because like today, you may not be there at the shop all day, but you came to do this, which is another sweet spot of the career that
Yeah.
that you chose. So remember, even when you're not behind the chair, it could be work, but it could be also a hard feeling. So continue to do that and stay grounded, and remember God first and todo para adelante, güey. Ya sabes.
I just want to say thank you for everybody that's been supporting for everything. I want to say shout out to Niera, shout out to Vidal, shout out to Evan, shout out to everybody, to Colores, shout out to my boy Diego right here. I just want to thank everybody that's been giving me those opportunities and just everybody is part of that journey, and that little journey, I feel like, is so important for me because that's more important than the destination. That journey, you know, I feel like I meet so many people along the way, and it's just everybody's contributing the little grain of salt to what eventually it could be, you know. And even if it doesn't work out, I just thank everybody for everything, you know.
No, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out.
Oh
bro.
yeah.
Hopefully, bro.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, so let's clap it up for Manny Bless
Let's
Hands.
go,
in the
Manny Bless
building.
Hands. Good shit, my brother.
Damn, that was cool.